world is tremendously obsessed with looking backwards and saying what happened in the past, what did they do, what is the experience been, what is the benchmark for this, etc. Many times without really realizing that every time you're doing one of these phenomena that I just described, you are only and only engaging in reflective thinking, and reflective thinking is all past. It's all behind this moment. It's nothing to do with the here and now. It's nothing to do with forward looking. It's definitely nothing about looking inwards, which is where, if you are working to become more insightful, more thoughtful, more thought provoking, wiser in general, then hindsight is just about 1/4 of what it is. And many times, hindsight is also all the data that you're crunching, the data that you're looking at, the patterns of what has happened. So if you're thinking that, oh, I am great at data crunching, number crunching, understanding patterns, etc., please again remember, much of that is in the past. There could be some data available for projective forward thinking, but that's a different case. So if you are in that habit of sitting and journaling, or sitting and doing reflective thinking, or sitting and discussing about the past, what I also one of the favorite terms that I call from my training in TA is archaeology. If you are constantly playing archaeology, then you need to understand that all that benchmarking, all that reflection is only 1/4 of wise thinking. The other forms that you need to absolutely work with are, number one, insight. So if hindsight is what happened back then, why did whatever happened back then, what were the variables, what did we do, what were we doing before that happened, what did we do with it, what did we do with that experience? When we are looking at that, it's all back there. Then insight is, what does this mean? What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this in the larger scheme of life? When you're generating an insight, you're coming out of the reflective process, and for the first time you're considering a proactive and an expansive thought, because your hindsight is very localized to that event, that incident, that trauma, that situation that you experienced. But that's not the only thing that life is all about. Life is about so many other things. And in generating an insight, you are for the first time being expansive by asking, what does this mean for the rest of my life? What does this mean for the rest of my relationships? What does this mean for the rest of the things that I do with my life? What does this mean for the various arenas of my life? Physical, mental, emotional, karmic, financial, all of those areas. What does this really mean? So learn to generate insights, learn to understand patterns which are expansive. And as you do that, what you will also discover is getting in touch with your inner sense and inner feeling. But that requires a lot of knowledge and a lot of insights. Once you are a person of deep knowledge, deep expertise, deep understanding, deep insights, you have processed hindsight and insights sufficiently. And I'm saying processed hindsight and insights sufficiently, what you will find is a beautiful phenomena that you'll start feeling more intuitive. When you read something, when you hear something, when you think something, when you write something, you'll start getting an intuitive feeling of whether it is right or wrong. It feels complete or not. It feels directionally sensible or not. It feels productive or not. There are various dimensions. Most of the intuition will tell you in polarities that this is in this direction, and that's something that we need to sense and understand. And many people ask me, when do we know that something is intuition? They say an idea is an intuition. No, an idea is an idea. We can all think, and random thoughts can come. The intuition is mostly a feeling, and it's a feeling in the gut, and like I said, it'll expose a polarity. the right or wrong, complete or not, feels fitting in or not, it feels like something is missing or not, directionally correct or not, productive or not. Those kind of polarities will start coming in, and several polarities could be there as you start experiencing intuition. Some of this will be there. And if you're getting ideas, and that is also then followed with an intuition saying that I have this idea, but this is how the idea will fit in into the rest of the puzzle. That's the way to understand the intuition. Intuition is far less about cognitive things. Like I said, it's not about ideas, it's not about descriptions, it's not about detailing, it's not about solutions. It's about whether that solution, that detailing, feels right or not, feels complete or not. Make sense? So attach feeling to the intuition, or put it other way, when what you're experiencing has a feeling to it, then you know that there is some sense of a intuition, provided it's not some of those negative emotions. Fear, anxiety, greed, jealousy, much of those are negative feelings that we carry. Don't confuse those with intuition. Intuition as a feeling will provide clarity. So those two benchmarks that you need to apply to, if something, three benchmarks, is something is an intuition or not. First one, intuition is not an idea or a thought. It's not cognitive. Intuition is a feeling, and that feeling will have that coherence, that it will provide in terms of the forward motion and the action that you need to take. And the last thing that many of us develop is foresight. Being able to peek into the future, being able to understand patterns, and again, then it's a combination of what's in the hindsight, what's in the proactive space with respect to the insights, and what's with respect to the intuition that we have. When a combination of these things happen, and then your mind also is a good observer, the mind is watching various things and bringing the interconnectedness of those external factors, that's when we start developing the foresight. But the foresight is also a very macro quality. As much as it's about long term, it's about macro. It's connecting various distinctive fields, looking at a lot of causality. It's also about being able to predict certain things with respect to timelines, quality, quantity, approach, shifts, transformations, etc. And there are people who develop foresight. Now, again, don't confuse just having some ideas randomly about what could be done. Ideation is wonderful. Ideas, yes, are a part of foresight, but foresight is much bigger than that. It's literally about being able to peek into the future and being able to predict some things to a certain degree of certainty. So, for those of you, like I said, who are working on their intellectual capabilities and want to be much wiser, much more grounded, much more prominent, then please recognize that most of our pattern of thinking is hindsight, just looking backwards. Start making those shifts towards generating insights and understanding what is the meaning of this towards life, and start becoming more divergent. As that happens, as you read, study, and become an expert, your intuition will start arising, and intuition will start giving you a very cogent, coherent feeling about what is out there and what feels right, what fits in. And over a period of time, when you start looking at macro and your vision goes outside, it goes into the world around, and starts understanding multiple causalities, you'll slowly start predicting things, which is where foresight will start coming up. Do this exercise. It is relevant. It's important. There are some things that you need to do to make sure that this thinking sharpens up. One of them is reading and studying. Another one of them is writing a lot, reflecting, putting your thoughts down on paper. It also helps to have good, intelligent company with which you can work. Make a deliberate effort at finding the 3/4 to the hindsight. Be complete in your approach towards wisdom and being wise.